What if I told you that after years of searching, I finally found an iron which looks absolutely spectacular, feels gorgeous, and is designed to actually help your game, all while looking this good. Introducing the brand new Vega Movable Pro irons, and just as I said in the introduction, I've tested these already in the studio and they feel as good as they look, but not only that, they are designed to help you play better golf. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson. Welcome back to this channel. I'm really excited about these because you see, I've been playing golf for a long time and I feel like I've been testing clubs for the majority of that, both professionally and as an amateur. And all I've been wanting to do is find a set of blades that I can play knowing they're actually going to help my game and look absolutely stunning in the bag. Right, there's one huge factor that I'm looking for here, and it is that turf interaction. Together with those looks, I'm going to keep mentioning the looks because I personally think these are the best looking irons I've ever seen, and we're going to get to this little port as well, because this is where the story really gets interesting. Oh, they are three of the nicest feeling strikes I've ever had. Let's continue. First of all, you see guys, these new Vega Movable Pro or Movable Pro, I don't know how to pronounce it, irons are designed with different weighting specifications through the set to help you launch your long irons and keep those short irons down. The big thing that should get is consistency, and those tee shots I've just hit off the first tee, anyone say consistent front to back dispersion? Yes, please. And you see, I do sometimes find it difficult talking about irons with such beauty because you find yourself getting a little bit blindsided just talking about the looks. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to mention the looks, I promise. But these are actually full of technology which you don't usually see in an iron. You see, if we open up this weight port in the toe, you'll see a metal bar that runs all the way towards the heel. Now, depending on the club, that is an aluminium bar, a steel bar, or even a tungsten bar, and obviously they vary massively in weight. So like I said, that's designed to help you launch long irons and keep those short irons a little bit more versatile, which is exactly what you would want. Now, these things aren't cheap. Vega irons have never been cheap. Are they worth the money? Guys, do me a favour, get in the comments below, would you pay the money for these irons? But I must admit, a Japanese forged blade is certainly where you want it. And they don't actually look that unforgiving. The blade length's a little bit longer than you might think. There's actually a touch of offset on there, which I didn't expect when I saw this club. And the top line almost tricks you into thinking that you've got a more forgiving iron. I showed the boys at Woolley Park these, and they said, first of all, wow, they look stunning. Sorry, we're talking about the looks again. But also then, as soon as they put them down, the first thing a lot of people talked about was that top line. Right, I've been in the studio, we're going to talk numbers in a moment, but I mean that can I order a set now? That is absolutely perfect. That's the ball flight I do want with an iron like this. Can we play it lower? The big thing here is versatility. Can we play a bit of a stinger? Yes, we can. That one's also all over the flag. I can't wait to show you where these are finished. Guys, there's every chance I'm going to finish this video, ring the guys at Vega and be like, right, these are the specs that I want, please send a full set and I'll send you some money and we'll have a bit of an exchange. So these do have Vega's own Shimada Pro shaft in there. I have them in stiff, and you'll see as well that I have an Iomic grip on here. So they have partnered together with Iomic and I think it suits the club really, really nicely. Right. One more, just a nice floaty one. We're at 170 yards out here, so there's not distance problems. I've hit that really well. I love that buttery fade as well. I feel like I can hit this iron as hard as I want. That could go in. Oh, that's literally lipped out. I feel like I can hit these as hard as I want. I'm always going to get that movement back, which you can't really put a price on if you miss it left like I do. I really, really, really like these. So an iron can look as good as it looks, that's one thing, but it has to perform. They have to be able to perform. I've just stood there at 170 yards on the opening hole here at what, I mean, it's not often I am speechless in videos. Usually I get told I'm talking too much. but realistically, how ridiculous is that? The last one is the one that's just short right, and I'm sure that's lipped out and come all the way back. So if we're talking performance, I'm going to talk about the numbers as well, because I was really impressed with the numbers. I mean, I've almost ruined it for you there, but I'm going to talk you through them as well. Can I justify putting them in the bag at that price? They do feel good. They feel, I'm going to put it out there, they feel as good, if not better, than anything I've tried this year. Even the Mizuno's, obviously Mizuno, Japanese forge, similar family. I mean, look at how we're downhill there, and just look at where these have kind of pitched and finished. So we've got the first one here. I am going to repair these, by the way, before anyone says anything. That's pitched there, and I thought that, oh, you know, that's a good shot. I'm going to take that first shot, new irons, not sure how far they go. Second one's finished there and released down. Third one's finished here and released down. Like, I am absolutely buzzing with all three of those shots. I've got some work to do with the pitch mark repair now, so bear with me. Okay, so I've mentioned a couple of times in this video now about that movable weight bar that's in this head. And you might think, oh, well, most clubs have a weight bar in the head. Most clubs have weighting specifically designed for long and short irons. I've never seen a blade where you can do this. So you might think, all right, well, that's just kind of where the weighting is, and you'd be right. So that comes out, that's the plug, and then you'll see the weight bar actually comes out. So this is a mid iron, so this will be a titanium bar in the mid iron at 10 grams. There's a tungsten weight in the long irons at 20 grams, and aluminium weight in the short irons at 3 grams. So that is just to make sure that you're getting the correct weighting in there for launch and spin. I do find that a funny one, because you're never really gonna take these out. There's never really a point you need to take these out. I think it's good that there's the option to have different weighting in the heads when it comes to fittings and things like that. That's very much going down the PXG route, which are another premium brand that charge a fair bit of money for their clubs. Right, we're into the wind here. I'm going to see if we can play 3 shots. I want to hit a draw, a straight and a fade, because people who are buying these want that element of versatility, don't they? Yes, it's nice that they look good. It's amazing how they feel. They feel so good. But can they perform as I want them to? I've already said I feel like I can hit a fade nicely. So we'll start with that and hopefully get that fade ticked off. Lovely high fade down that fairway. Now we'll play the draw, see if we can play right to left, because that's something which you do sometimes want to be able to play if you are working the club. Lovely draw down the left side. Now's a tough one. Now is the straight shot, and these clubs will be designed to be maneuvered. They'll be designed for versatility, but not necessarily forgiveness. So if you have an iron that is designed for workability, it's not as easy to hit it straight. You can see my divot patterns here are slightly different for those 2 shots. I've come a little bit from the outside for the fade, a little bit from the inside for the draw. But again, nice shallow divots. The leading edge on this is gorgeous and really helps glide through the turf. Okay, straight shot. Let's fade in a little bit. So I've struggled to hit it bang straight there. I'm not going to argue with that, because it's pretty much where I was aiming, and the fact that when I try to hit it straight it just peels to the right really appeases me, because the last thing I want to do when I want to hit it straight is pull it or hook it, because that's when I'm in a heap of danger. Like, to be honest, I'm still massively thinking about those shots I just hit into the first hole. There's a par 3 coming up. I can get it to around 155. Let's see if I can cover that distance nicely with the 7 iron and just how versatile it can be. We're talking numbers again, and again these have got a nice kind of consistent distance down this fairway. Really, really happy with that again. Guys, let's jump in the studio, let's talk numbers for these clubs, and then we're going to jump on the par 3. If I can make a birdie, I'm going to have 3 balls. If I can make a birdie, I'm going to put some in the bag. I'll book a fit in. We'll go through the proper routes. Often when I take golf clubs into the studio to test them, it is primarily just for numbers, but I could not believe how good these Vega irons did feel when I first got my hands on them. They felt fantastic, and I hit the green more times than not from around 170 yards as well. So for me, that is a huge bonus. But what were the numbers like? How much ball speed was I getting? Was I getting around 7,000 spin, which you would expect from a bladed 7 iron? The answer to that is, to be honest, yes, absolutely we did. We got 117 ball speed, which is a few miles an hour shy of tour average, but I think that's still pretty good for me, who doesn't move it as fast, and managed to get almost 7,000 spin, 6.5, still on a little bit of a low side. But for me to hit a bladed 7 iron, 168 in the air is phenomenal. I know I'm swinging well at the moment, or I feel like I do this week, so I'll be interested to test this again when I'm not swinging as well, but for me, these are almost perfect. Okay, we've just got to the par 3. Look at it sticking out the bag there. Yes, please. So guys, you'll see here we've got a nice testing par 3 measuring around 150 yards. I'm going to go right to the back of the tee, try and make it measure a little bit more like 155, 160, and just see if I can get one of these down. We have hit some nice shots from around 170 with this. And you'll see the lofts are fairly traditional. One of the things I've really enjoyed is the turf interaction with these clubs, and that's going to be down to, you can see they've just chamfered off that leading edge just a touch. It almost does look a bit like it's a demo iron, you know, like it's got something to change the lie angle or something. You would probably get used to that. That's the only thing that probably stops this being a 10 out of 10 looking club. I know it has to have that to have the technology, but it does look a little bit of an eyesore. Like if they're all in the bag lined up, you're thinking, what on earth is that in there? A birdie, and they go in. It's a great strike. It's middle of the green though, it's nowhere near the flag. It's a good sighter. I think that's going to be about the right distance. Exactly the same. You see how I can't miss it left, like they just want to be moving back. That's actually took a good bounce off that ridge. That might not be too far away. I do like, because I often miss this green left, especially to this flag location. Get a nice clean face for this last one. Let's go at the flag, come on. Even fade back to that left flag. Like that. That's the perfect shot. We must have a chance, we must have a chance. And again, this turf interaction, this is exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. So as we drive up here, guys, one question I have is, would you put these in the bag? Do they look nice enough for you? Is there something that you don't like? Does that weight port actually put you off having them in the bag? And if you were to hit them, is feel and sound that important to you? It is to me. I find it really, really important. We've hit, I mean, realistically there, I wasn't happy with 2 out of those 3 shots. And you can see they're all pretty safe middle of the green, they're all flag high, and there is a chance at a 2 there. I would say more than likely I'm not going to hold one of those putts, but we can have a go. I'm happy with that. To say how I've hit those and how I thought they were going to be right, very happy. And like if we start talking about tour average distances to the flag from 150, 160 yards, like 2 of those are inside tour average, that one's probably around about at tour average. Let's try and hold a putt. I'd love to put these in the bag. And that's probably the answer for you, isn't it? I would love to put these in the bag. I'm hoping that I hold one of these putts, which says a lot, because I get to test so many clubs, but very rarely do I leave a video thinking, oh, I really want, I'm going to have to do some research and try and get hold of some of these for the best possible price. Right. Early doors, just walk this one in. Has he? Has he? Oh, you had the line. Oh, right, that was probably the outsider, so that's not a birdie, that is a par. Obviously this nearest one's the one where you're thinking, can we? We'll go furthest one first. That certainly wasn't my best putt. I towed that one, but it moved a lot. Right. Foot outside, nice pace, new irons in the bag, treat yourself. Go on then, go on then. Yes! That is 2 3s and a 2 on one of my favourite holes here at Woolwich Park Golf Club, and that means, I'm a man of my word, I'm going to send some messages and some emails and see just how to learn how to juggle. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you've enjoyed that. I'm buzzing, I didn't expect to make that one actually, so that is a bonus. How much? That's the question. See you tomorrow.